Straight facts, homie. It's your boy, Kate, man. We're back with another public interview. For this one, we had to take it to the streets of D.C., let you know how the people feel, man. And we wasn't asking no cupcake questions now. What would you do if your child was murdered by the police?
I'm gonna need a second.
But before the video starts, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, man, because we doing this for y'all, to be honest. But that's enough talking about me. Let's get straight to this video. What would you tell a white person what they could do to affect change?
Because they could just say something. Because silence is the same shit. That means you agree if you don't say nothing. So you speaking up and saying that whatever black person you see being treated unfair, is let whoever's bothering them, let them know that they wrong as shit for what they doing.
It's to basically, man, just stand with us. Show us that you really here. You know what I'm saying? Show us that you're trying to help us to make a difference, because it takes y'all to help us.
Like, if you're white and you have no idea what the fuck is going on, the first thing, read a book. Talk to your black friends. Like, have you checked dip on them? Are you supporting black-owned businesses? Are you, like, there are so many ways you can help right now.
That's a pretty broad spectrum of people. Right. In some cases, it's people who are downright antagonistic to this situation. Like, just because you've had good experiences with the police doesn't make that, doesn't make that a universal experience. Right.
The best thing that you can do is to start changing your personal circles, to start open conversations. Okay. And you have to be aware that you can't always get people on your side, but as long as you try to open their mind to the fact that, like, oh, maybe they did grow up with privilege, you know? Right. Or maybe there are people that are facing systematic racism that it might not concern you, but, like, it's affecting real people.
Treat people how you want to be treated. No one wants to die.
Simple, right? Yeah. That's simple. Okay.
So far, since I've been out here, I've been protesting since day one.
Right.
So far, the white people that I have come across, amazing people, like amazing. They're out here for the right causes. No one's forcing them to be out here. They're going harder than we are. Whenever something happens, they go to the front. They make sure everybody's okay. There was a girl that got shot 10 times by a rubber bullet. Her jaw was literally dislocated. And she was still protesting, walking like Black Lives Matter, like, you go, girl.
If I were talking to a white person, I tell them to just simply educate themselves. I know when I was in Minneapolis, obviously it's a heavy white population there.
Right.
A lot of people were coming to the site where George Floyd was killed, and they were bringing their kids, and they were doing what they could to educate themselves. Like, they were talking to people. They're just like, yeah, we haven't been victims of systemic racism or police brutality, but we want to know what we can do to have an understanding of why this took place, why this has been going on for years.
Seem rich. I go around people saying that they rich.
Right.
They got all this money. They come and just pass it out. They feed the birds like it's bread. You see what I'm saying? They just eat it.
So basically, you're saying they have to put more money into the community?
Yeah, into like stuff that's gonna last.
What would you do if your child was murdered by the police?
I'm gonna need a second. I'm gonna need a second to answer that.
So what would you do if your child was murdered by the police?
Oh my God.
You can take as long as you want.
Realistic answer, I would raise hell, because I'm tired of seeing this happening to our people. I just feel like it's been going on for so long now. It's no reason there should be no change.
Reaching out to the community would probably be the first step. Finding that support.
Now, what would you do if your child was murdered by the police?
That's a tough question.
Tough question indeed.
I mean, I would be out here doing the same shit, you know what I'm saying? It's tragic that it happened to George Floyd and his family, you know what I'm saying? I send my condolences to them, but at the same time, you gotta stand up for what's right. If we can't believe in the police, how can we, who
do we believe in?
You hear me? Like,
I mean, I come from a praying home, so it's gonna take my mother to pray a whole lot for me to make sure that, you know, I don't do nothing that's gonna get me in any more trouble, because I can't really ask what I do.
You know, rest in peace, Raphael Briscoe, who was gunned down by the police. His mother's my auntie. We all grew up in the same church. And you could take that stuff to court and still lose those cases.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's really no telling what I would do. I wouldn't even say that I would, you know, pray or try to get a suit, because, you know, something might get blown up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I know that doing shit the right way ain't always gonna make it right. You know what I mean?
Do this riots and you gotta do that looting and make some type of noise, because you can do it the right way all you want to, but they got ahead.
What about you?
If one of my loved ones were hurt by someone who's supposed to protect them, I would be so full of devastation and rage, especially. You know how, like, white people can stand here and let that happen to other people's families without feeling the same rage.
One of your loved ones was brutally murdered by a police officer.
I'm gonna be totally honest with you, brother. I'm gonna kill that man.
he's gonna, like, he needs to die. If my son deserved to die from his innocence, then you deserve to die. That's how I look at it.
Deep. Thank you, man. All right, appreciate it.
If your child was murdered by the police, what would you do?
My child was murdered by the police. Wow, that's a heavy question.
That's a heavy question.
That's a heavy question because all these people that have died at the hands of police, like I was telling other people, I mean, I've cried. I've been anchoring, and then you get this news that someone's died, and I have to like sit there and pretend like I'm not a human.
Right.
But when I'm off camera, I'm like sitting there just bawling and crying, and I would call on my political friends. I call on all my journalism friends. Like, this would be a massive story. And I would do everything I could to make sure the officers involved were charged and convicted and sentenced for the rest of their lives.
I think the sentence part is like a big deal because a lot of people do get charged, but
we never see the conviction.
What are you doing personally to cause change?
I'm out here every day. I'm protesting every day. Whether if it's violent, whether if it's peaceful, I'm out here.
What are you out here doing to create change?
What am I? That's a good question. I'm out here using evil for good. That's what I'm out here doing.
Explain. Like, what do you mean? Elaborate.
I live in a black community. I see it with my own eyes, and it sucks that I can't do anything about it.
Right.
And now I'm trying to make a change. I'm trying to do something about it. I've been out here every day, but other than that,
How long you been out here for?
Since it started. I lost track. Right. We're gonna give police officers free jiu-jitsu lessons, show them right restraints to hold people, take them down, stuff like that. That won't hurt them.
Well, we came down from Philadelphia to kind of photograph what's going on and bring that back home and share with people who aren't coming out, like what's happening out on the streets.
We're about to make music to go ahead and spread the word. We got a song coming out, we're doing a video, a song called Oppression. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna shoot that. We're gonna shoot a song for Oppression. I know y'all know this sign right here. Most viral sign in DC.
Yes, sir.
My boy right there, he the one that wrote it up.
You from around the DC area?
I grew up in Southeast DC. I live around Northwest on 14th Street. I say what I'm doing now is having these conversations like I'm having with you now, more and more. Because if you're around me and you get insensitive because of this conversation, I mean you were never meant to be around me in the first place. So we have to continue to stay educated.
For sure. That's
and
the
my
number one
thing is, if you're not willing to learn, you're just as ignorant as somebody who might know and don't say anything.
Being at these protests, that's a big thing. Definitely having those conversations with friends and family, holding white people accountable, if that's white people, if that's companies, and just like creating that change in that voice.
I'm here as a non-person of color, as a white person. I think it's important that we stand with people of color and try to help build momentum for the movement.
What are you guys doing out here today to create change?
So right now we are holding, we're selling our products, and the proceeds are going towards George Floyd, Brianna Taylor.
Tell me what y'all selling, promoting. Come on, sell it, let's go.
So we have two different brands right here.
Okay, show the camera, pick up something.
So I am Branded Beauty Co. I sell cosmetics and accessories. So I have these sunglasses, I have highlights, lip gloss, lipstick, anklet.
How would you describe white privilege?
Ability to remain out of the know, to remain oblivious to what's going on. People who aren't recognizing the pain that their black brothers and sisters have to go through. That is privilege. To be able to leave your house when things like this are going on and to just act like it's not happening, that is privilege. We do not have the privilege to pretend like this is not happening to our people.
White privilege is literally ignorance. It's just like you're ignorant and you're living a blissful life. Even people out here, like the white people that are here, allies, there are some allies that are here and they're still living a life of white privilege.
Right.
They're out here, but if something were to happen, with the police or whatever here, they're still safe.
Okay, so how would you describe white privilege?
A white man could walk down the street without being harassed, saying that he looks like he fits the description. Me personally, me being a black man, and me being a young black man,
right?
I fit the description more often than the next man. You know what I'm saying?
I feel that.
And we easily targeted. Us as a people, when we see the police get behind us, we automatically get nervous because of our skin.
When it comes to white privilege, I feel like it's still around today, but I feel like it wouldn't be a white privilege if black people came together more.
Right.
If we was to have each other back and support each other, black businesses, and support each other's careers and hobbies, it wouldn't be so much of a white privilege.
So it's so subtle at times that you can go through your life and not even know you have it, right? Because I'm a white man. I'm that's the norm, right? This is all built for me, to benefit me. And you don't notice that until you see that it comes at a blood cost.
How would you describe white privilege?
I could account for white privilege because when people see me, they can either say white or they can see something else. A lot of people see white. And so I've been pulled over by the police firsthand. I've had weed in my car. They want to see the weed, show them the weed, and they tell me, go ahead, have a good day.
Boom. Like a slap on the wrist, right?
A slap on the wrist. That's white privilege. And so white people have never had to encounter any type of racial injustice at all. And that's white privilege right there.
It would be, I'm 26, and all these years, last weekend was the first time I think I was viewed with suspicion by a police officer.
It's implicit bias, and that takes a lot of strength to come out of that, but it's required and necessary. And we can't, as white people, we cannot turn our back on that. We have to move forward. And I have zero tolerance. I think both of us do for that.
Okay, so my next question is, how would you describe white privilege?
Dang. I don't know, because I don't have no white friends. I never been around white people. I don't really know what it is. When I talk to white people about what's going on, like you'll see all these people, they'll send me a different way.
Right.
They don't want to talk about it.
If you are so concerned with your governor reopening the city in the middle of COVID-19 and don't care about the loss of a life, to me that's privilege. It's like you want to go out to brunch. You want to go shopping again. You want to do all these things. But this person hasn't died. People aren't out here protesting just because they can. They're protesting in the middle of a pandemic because they want to see change. They're risking their lives.
I grew up in area back home in Pennsylvania where it was very white. So we didn't see a lot of this. So you're kind of detached from the whole situation that's going on, and now living in a city in Philadelphia, and you kind of see it a lot more. And even this last week, just the police brutality happening at police brutality protests, firsthand, it's just insane that it just keeps happening. I can get pulled over and I can bullshit with a cop and oh, you were doing this much over the speed limit, just come to court, pay your ticket, whatever. And I never have to worry about being assaulted or having someone call the police on me for walking through their neighborhood because they're uncomfortable with the way I look.
So in a month or two, when the Black Lives Matter movement stops and it's not cool or a hashtag and trending, what do you think is going to happen to the movement?
Well, Black Lives Matter has been around for a while.
Right.
But I think the momentum could stop once things do reopen and everybody's life goes back to normal and all we can think about is, oh my God, I need a job now. I got to pay my bills. I got to, do this, do that. People aren't going to have the time to protest. People aren't going to have the time to push forward for change. People aren't going to be focused on the trial that's taking place in Minneapolis with these 4 officers. And so unless the officers aren't convicted, then we probably won't see any more protests.
Will we have this same energy by a month from now? When COVID-19 is over, will we have this same energy? Because let me tell you what I think one problem is people are afraid to lose their jobs and their income. So since you don't have to worry about that so much right now, will we still be able to do that when we all are unemployed and not here on a Tuesday evening? Did you see how powerful it was that we all came together?
Very, very powerful.
When's the last time Michael Jordan ever talked about anything in public?
And that's true.
Imagine everyone in NFL and NBA did not play for a month because they feel like you ain't treating us right. I bet change will come.
Honestly speaking, they're going to forget, but at the same time, it's still up to us to keep the pressure on them. Because if we give up easily, it's going to show that we don't care. It shouldn't put me at a disadvantage because I'm black, and it shouldn't put another man at an advantage because he's Caucasian. At the end of the day, we all got the same chances in the same 24 hours, but it's just different circumstances that we out here to change, you hear me? That's why this sign right here say, be equal, this is a sequel, you hear me? This shit is 100, choose your language, you hear me?
I don't really see it ending. For real, because you know about black people, we some real emotional people.
Right.
And when you get us riled up, it take a lot to calm us down. And I feel like this shit gonna keep going. It might get worse, you don't know.
Show the sign for the one time. Most popular sign in DC, you feel me?
I want to give you this. This is our CD.
Say that.
I think that, you demonstrate, you protest, and I think there's a transition into strategizing, mobilizing, and you hit the voting booths, right? Right. It's like Killer Mike said in Atlanta, you beat up the politicians you don't like. I mean, this is a moment for strategizing.
Sure.
Burnout is very real. People do get burnt out. I mean, people come out here like it's Coachella to take pictures and look like they're out here.
Right. But they're not really out here for the right reason.
Right.
What do you think is going to happen?
It's going to go back to the same stuff, bro. No, I'm not going to say nothing's going to change because stuff does change, but the same stuff still happens. Things change, but the same stuff be still going on. While those other things change and still be the same thing. Leave somebody, if you go out here and kill somebody, that's relieving them of their pain. You hear me? Of everything that's going on, relieving them of their problems, their responsibilities. And that's putting more responsibility on other people.
I'm not gonna say everybody's gonna forget about it, because it is really part of history, but it's gonna go back to the same thing. They'll probably, calm down, with the killings and stuff, but history repeats itself.
Okay, that brings me to my last question. So when the Black Lives Matter protest dies down in a month or two and is not trending anymore, what do you think is going to happen to the movement?
Currently don't want this movement to end. I know that we're planning on attending as much as we can, given the circumstances. Luckily, with the COVID, with the unemployment situation, is that it's really allowed us to not let this movement end. I refuse to let that happen.
So I think hopefully that the fact that we're out here, what day is this, Dan?
6 or 7 days.
This is our 6 or 7
You've been out here 7 days straight?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
I want to be optimistic and hope that this isn't just a trend where people, post black screens on their Instagram. One of the most important things that we could do is vote, trying to keep this same momentum into November.
How will it keep going?
Right, yeah.
We all have to take charge. First and foremost, man, we gotta vote. And we gotta vote local. A lot of people don't think voting works, but we gotta kick these people out of office. If one thing is wrong with our police force, man, we should join and kick those other people out.
Right.
When we join and we see wrong, but we can tell on these people, hey man, they're not fit to be a police officer.
Right.
So yeah, either kick them out or keep fighting for change.